Hey Google, turn the volume down to 20%. All right, welcome back everybody to the Filmmaker Focus Poll. I'm your host Carsonus from Creationist, and this is attempt number 2, as there was no audio on the last one, which corresponds with the top of this board. I'm going to drink this kombucha. This is my first time actually having it. It said steep for about 3 minutes, but 30 minutes works just as fine. I mean, most people, I think, leave these in anyway. But quote of the day: love is an experience of infinity. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's definitely not as warm as I wanted it to be, but that's to be expected. Green tea I can do. Black tea is terrible. I don't care what you say. Anyway, let's hop into it. I've already done all the work for y'all. I was kind of just doing it on the spot. And that makes sense with what we've got. So right now we're going to go through an overview. You know what? I don't care if y'all see it. It's not a test. But anyway, right here we have week 1, which was last Tuesday, and then week 2, which is today. And so at the top of the list, as always, we have capture, and that's because if you don't capture anything, you have nothing. So I have 7 shoots this week. I've already done 2 of them, so I'm going to be doing a lot of capturing today. I'm very excited about it. So, yep, number 1, capture, and that stays always. Okay, and now down to number 2. Last week we chose preparation, and it stayed the same. It's going to probably stay the same for a few weeks, let's be honest. Preparation is definitely not something I'm doing enough of. I actually was charging my battery for my Canon 5 minutes prior to the last live stream. So yeah, preparation, it's definitely up there. And my action for preparation is to buy a new battery. One of my filmmaking books I have said that you need 5 per camera, which I thought was absurd, but I don't even have half of that. So I'm going to buy that 3rd one, and then I'll be sitting just over half. Can't really have 2.5 batteries unless you buy an off-brand one. Don't buy them. But yep, preparation, number 2. Probably going to stay that way, let's be honest. Okay, and number 3, last week we had innovation, and that's just making use of the things that you have currently, which is definitely still important. But this week I decided to move method up, and that's because I am trying to fine-tune this method for the Filmmaker Focus Poll, because I am not used to live streaming whatsoever. I'm just your traditional filmmaker. I am used to shooting. I mean, I'm used to being in front of the camera because of vlogging and whatnot, but my method definitely needs to be fine-tuned. I spent about an hour just trying to play with OBS, trying to get some cool stuff for you guys. You might actually see one of those errors. But anyway, we have audio fixed, and method is definitely number 3 for this week. Definitely going to be trying to work more on the method, you know, a few days prior. But yeah, method. Let's do it. Oh, yep, you can actually see it right down there in the middle. That was my attempt at putting myself up on the screen as well. Okay, and then we're going to hop over to number 4. Last week we had perspective, and that's actually going to be going down. My perspective is actually changing, and that's for the sheer fact that I no longer have my 100 millimeter, and that's because it could not get fixed. I'm debating if I want to buy it again, but maybe I'll change perspective. But anyway, for now, we're going to put light up at the top, and that's for the sheer fact that I am trying to get more creative with my light and putting it in places that you cannot see. I mean, if you look at this overall scene right here, we've got daylight right here, and it's casting right here. It's giving me that nice daylight pop, and the daylight pop looks great against the warm tungsten there, warm tungsten, and then warm tungsten there. Last week, I used the 120D daylight for my background, which I thought looked cool, but now I'm noticing with all these warm tones behind me, I want to keep it even and just keep all the daylight on me, as well as this hair light, which you actually can't even see, but boom. It makes a big difference. I mean, you wouldn't think so, but they say if you only have one light, to put it behind you. But yep, that's going to be number 4 for this week, light. Boom. Okay, and then we're going to be hopping down to number 5. Last week we had method, and as I said earlier, we moved that up for good reason. But I'm actually going to be putting creativity a lot higher. We had it too low last week, and I want to start creating short films, and I know that's going to involve writing and the whole writer's block dilemma and all that. Creativity is definitely something I have to work on much more. I need to just sit down and become inspired instead of becoming inspired and then sitting down and then, a few minutes later, like, oh, I need more inspiration. No, you just go into it. That's usually what I do in my graphic design, and it tends to work out. So, yep, number 5, creativity. Let's do it. All right, and then we're going to be heading over to number 6. I know you guys are loving not hearing this mic come on and off and running back like last week. But, yep, number 6, right? Yes. My lines aren't that straight. I mean, I have straight lines. It's just like, I didn't want to put a ton of lines. Preparation, what can I say? Number 6, we had lighting. Got moved up because it's very important. But we're going to be putting perspective here. Like I said, it's definitely like something to keep in mind for myself and for anyone. But think about having a more locked perspective. I only have 2 lenses right now. And honestly, it is the most relaxing feeling whenever I go to a shoot. It's really something you should try out. Change your perspective. Stop being stuck in the same focal range. So, yep, perspective. This is probably one of my favorite images I have. I don't know. I just like backwards text. It looks cool. You get to focus. It's kind of like if you flip a logo upside down, you just see it completely different. If you want to know if your logo looks good, flip it upside down. A little graphic design tip right there. Yep. And then we're going to hop on to number 7. It's a little weird. I'm looking at my laptop over here, and I'm noticing like a 10-second delay, but that's live streaming for you. But yep, number 7, we had sound here, but I'm not going to actually even increase the height of that. I am mostly working on projects that either don't need much audio or they're just photography gigs. So I don't really have to focus on that too much this week. So we're actually going to be moving that down. But in its place, we're going to have innovation. Like I said, it's still pretty crucial, but there's so many other elements that are far more important this week. So hopping over to innovation for number 7. Thanks, by the way, for CJ commenting on that last live stream. I really did not know. This is why it's very important to do a sound test or just do an overall test in general. I'm going to grab some more kombucha. I need that caffeine. Oh, it's so lukewarm right now. I'm not digging it. It needs to go in the microwave. Not with the steep thingy tea bag. Yeah, that's it. Hopping on to the last one. Well, the last one for now, kind of. We'll get to that. But number 8, last week we had creativity. Got moved up for good reason. Good reason. I think that should even be way higher. I think once I get my preparation and method on point, which will take a few weeks. I mean, just like anything, practice makes progress, not perfect. But yeah, creativity got moved up. And then we got sound in its place. So right now, this is pretty much dead bottom. I don't like to think of these as kind of in a row. I mean, they are, but number 10, I wouldn't say it's the least important. I'd say it's something to keep in mind. It's the bottom of your camera. It's what is supporting your camera, which gives you the emotion that you're trying to portray. Whether it's a tripod, a glide cam, or handheld, it all gives a different feeling depending on what you're trying to portray in your video. But yep, putting sound, putting sound there. Got lots of different octaves, you know. Sound. Yeah, I can't sing, let's be honest. But yeah, sound right there at the bottom. It's not really that important this week, but we do have one more room. Let me just throw that up real quick. Sound, sound, sound. We do have one more place, and I need you guys to help me because I don't know what this last element is. All the stuff back there is just random stuff that I've collected and I've decided to put a label on. Maybe I'm missing an element. Maybe you see something that's more important that I am not thinking about. I need you guys to let me know, whether it's in the comments, DMing, anything. I want to make sure we get all 10. That way it's more for me to focus on. And I mean, there's so many things in filmmaking, I'm sure it wouldn't be hard, but I am open to suggestions. If I get too many suggestions, I have, let's see, right, oh, that's better here, right. So right there is actually like kind of a drawing hat type deal. I'm going to use it for something later on, you guys will see, but I'm trying to work on Filmmaker Focus Poll. But if you give too many suggestions, I'm going to put your name and your suggestion in there and I will draw it. Got to make it fair for everyone. But yep, number 9 is still a mystery. And then headed over to number 10, which is support. And like I said earlier, support is, it's kind of the theme that goes into everything. I mean, like I said, every single shot you see, they thought about how they're going to support it. A lot of the times, they just have tripod shots and they're still. Because in video, it's not the camera movement which is the important part. I mean, yeah, it's fun to move through space, especially with a glide cam or a gimbal, of course, but it's the actors. It's what's happening in the scene. It's the story. And whenever you have all these crazy movements going around, you can't focus on the story. You're focusing on like, wow, I'm nauseous right now. So that's just something to always keep in mind. The Filmmaker Focus Poll, I don't really know how you could consider the order. It's definitely in order to priority, but number 10 is almost as important as number 1. I mean, it's pretty much, we could say it's 1.5 if you want. But anyway, that was the Filmmaker Focus Poll, episode 2, attempt number 2, because now we have audio. Yeah, I'm gonna stay here for a little second. I know we only have one person watching right now, which I'm very thankful for. I think it's CJ. I mean, if it's you, text me, let me know. But anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. This is where I would do it. Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this running for a second. I need to warm up my kombucha, maybe 30 seconds. Be right back. 30 seconds was too hot. Kombucha. Kombucha. I don't get the hype. I mean, it's green tea. It's got caffeine. I think some of them have alcohol that's like pretty much non-existent. I don't know. Trends. It says you should have hear this. Get the most out of every cup. Drink 3 to 4 cups daily. 4 cups. I'm not gonna do it. Maybe 2 a week. Okay, yep. Well, no comments this week, but I do appreciate all of you who watch, not even live. I just want you to get the content. I don't care if it's live or not. The live is just kind of pressure for me. I like to work under pressure. I'm not the best at it by any means. I cannot take that title at all. But yeah, thank you for watching and making it this far. I'm excited to see next week and how I evolved and how that extra battery is going to come into play. But yeah, make sure to surround yourself with ideas that inspire. This has been Carsonist with Creationist, and I hope you have an amazing Tuesday. I'll see you next week. Maybe before next week, just not with the live. But take care, guys. Peace. And stop recording.